I'm Carole Clark, and I just finished a patio project at my house. I put down 18-inch by 18-inch pavers in an area where there used to be a deck. The area is about 36 by 12, and I live on a canal, so it's going to be a nice area for us to entertain and utilize for eating out on the patio in the evenings when it's nice and cool in this wintertime. So I wanted to show you how I went through the process. I have some video clips that will be playing here, and then I'll follow that up with my PowerPoint presentation. I hope you enjoy seeing how I did this project. Thanks. So this is what I've been doing this afternoon with the jackhammer. So it started to rain, so I quit for a little bit, and got to about 100 degrees today, so it was nice to have the rain and cool it off. It looks like I'll get about half of it done. Won't be able to work on it this weekend because I'll be away, but I'll get half of this done, and then I'll rent the jackhammer when I get back next week and get this other half done. This is a lot of work. My hands are feeling the pain. Check in later. So this is where he used the bobcat to remove all of the concrete that was in here and try to get it level. There's the sand we're going to use. So today I'm finally going to start putting the pavers down. I have to tamp down the base surface, which is mostly like a gravel material, mostly crushed shells. And then I've got this pile of sand to level this area, and then pavers are going to go down. So I hope I have enough sand. If I don't, I'm going to get more. Check in later. Starting to look like a patio. Got some help today. Dog, get in here. So I got a few pieces left to put in. These last two blocks right here. So I'm going to put those in. Then I'm going to spread sand over the top, which will actually fall down in between the cracks, and we'll seal it, actually bind it so that the bricks don't fall and slide and move around. So I like the pattern. I kind of made it up as I went along, but I was able to reuse some patio blocks that I had and put a fence in for my dog, and I'm going to do some landscaping outside of that fence. So almost done. So this is a very important step too, putting the edging on. That'll hold the bricks in place so they don't slide around. So that's what I'm doing right now. Then I'm going to spread the sand. So this is what I hope is the final step in this process. What I've done here is laid out some sand. This is a very thin, fine sand, and then I'm sweeping it into the cracks. And once I get that done, I'll water it in a little bit, and then it'll bond itself, and the patio will be secure. So I'm filling these gaps right here with sand. So this is the patio, how it came out. It's kind of hard to see in the shade right now. There's my dog. And you can see we live on a canal, so we wanted a nice area to be able to sit and enjoy the outdoors as well as to be able to entertain. So we'll eventually have a table out here and some more chairs. And the back side of my house is going to be all windows because I've got those coming. So it's been quite an undertaking, but I think it came out pretty good. This is the view from the other direction. I put a fence in as well because I needed a place for my dog to be, because we have an alligator in the canal and I didn't want her to get eaten. So these are 18-inch patio blocks, and you have to put them down very carefully so they end up being square. Then you have to fill the little cracks with sand. The sun's not helping me out here too much, but and then also put in an edging material that holds it into place. And then I'll fill in that gap there with some lava rock or something that'll look nice and decorative. This is my PowerPoint presentation of how to install a paver patio by Carole Clark. The first thing you want to do is design your project. You want to utilize the space that you have for a functional outdoor area. I sketched mine out by hand. After the fact, I found a website called SketchUp that I could have used, which would have given it more of a professional design. But what I did worked for me. I just needed to know what color pavers I wanted to put and where. So it was helpful to have that laid out. Measure twice, cut once is always a good rule to follow. You want to make sure you purchase enough material to finish the job. Lowe's Home Improvement, they suggest that you purchase 10% more product than you estimate needing. Due to breakage, some of the pavers might break while you're moving them around. You also might have to cut some of the pavers, and then you might have to replace some later on. You want to make a materials list. Your materials that you're going to need are pavers, fill material, that's like your first base level, leveling sand, that goes on second, and then your finishing sand goes on top of the pavers. PVC pipe will help you with the screeding process. That's when you're going to put that leveling sand down, and you want to make sure that everything is really level at that point. You need a shovel, a rake, a tamper, 2x4 for screeding, trowel, a level, a rubber hammer, and a broom. As you're preparing the site for the product, you want to make sure that the base is clear of any debris. I had some concrete that I had to remove. I had a bobcat backhoe kind of come in and take some of that away. Then you're going to spread your filler material down. That's your first base material. It's pretty heavy. It's got a lot of sand and rocks, and mine had a lot of shells in it. Then you're going to level the area, spreading that leveling sand. This is where that screeding process comes in. You put the PVC pipes parallel to one another, and you lay the leveling sand on top of it. You use a 2x4 and run it across the top of the PVC pipe, and you want about a 4 to 6 inch depth here. And as you run that 2x4 across, it's going to level out the sand for you to put your material down. I got that tip from todayshomeowner.com, and it really helped me to make sure that I had a level area to put the pavers down on. Now you're ready to install the product. After your screeding process is done and the area is level, you want to put the product down in one section at a time. It's just a whole lot easier to keep it square if you're just doing one piece at a time. Make sure that each paver is square to the last paver you put down. Be sure the pavers are tight or evenly spaced. Mine didn't have any space between them at all. And then you're going to use a rubber hammer to adjust the pavers if you need to. I got some help during this stage. I got a couple guys from work. They came and helped me put these pavers down. I had 130 patio blocks to put down. They were 18 inch by 18 inch, so it would have taken me a really long time to do it by myself. It was a whole lot easier with 3 of us doing it. To finish up the project, you put an edging material down. It's going to go around the outside edges of the patio. It's plastic, and then I secured it with 10-inch nails that go down into the soil and keep it in place. The top dressing process is important because it helps to seal the pieces together. They bind them together. It's very thin sand, and when it's put on the product and you wet it in with some water, it will bind the materials together so your patio doesn't move around. So these pictures show the finished product. I like the way it came out. I like my pattern. It was kind of a makeshift pattern. I just used what I had and kind of made it up as I went along, but I think it turned out well. And I'm going to enjoy sitting out there in the evenings enjoying my canal. Thank you.